you checking out this video, that means you appreciate this beautiful console, a victim of circumstances at the time of its release, with some unfortunate events and a lackluster support from its mother company, Nintendo, as well as third-party people. Today, I would love to share with you my latest hunt, my latest find, a black GameCube with an original controller, and also everything that came with it. I've got some games, I've got some additional stuff that came with it. Of course, we're going to talk prices and also some of the games that I had previously in my collection. I hope you are as excited as I am to share this beautiful console, one of my all-time favorite. So let's talk retro, let's talk GameCube. If you're watching this from the US, from the UK, this gorgeous black, fully functional GameCube with an original GameCube controller I got from what you refer to as a flea market, garage sale, Sunday market, whatever you call it in your own country. Here in Western Europe, for those who've seen my previous episodes, you know I live and record in Western Europe. This is what you refer to as the Eurozone. And because we're going to talk prices, €1 is basically $1, just to make things easy. And this was in a garage sale. It's a story of one morning strolling in, and it was early in the morning. So guy was unloading a truck. There's a table behind the truck. And the moment that beautiful console hit that table, I immediately put my hand on it and said, I'm interested. The conversation went on, was a guy and his wife or his girlfriend. She said, that's valuable. I said, I know, but I find it surprising that you say it's valuable, because a few years ago, people were a lot more flexible in saying, okay, offer a price, put a price on it, let's meet in the middle, let's discuss, let's talk. And you immediately went, this is valuable. I know it's valuable. And to be honest, it is. I don't know if you're watching, wherever you're watching from, if this is steadily available. Here in Western Europe, they're getting rare, and a lot more rare almost by the day. It feels like there are only few consoles left around for grabs, and that's it. And all of a sudden, I don't know, the last probably couple of years, it became extremely popular. So prices started climbing up and up and up. And for a console that actually flopped on release, if you remember, back in 2002, if you were around, took only probably, I don't know, 2-3 years, and then Nintendo gave up on it. I remember sport company like EA stopped making games for it because they weren't making any profits. Eidos, one of the companies, like you remember the Tomb Raider, I think it's only one release of Tomb Raider on the GameCube, and then they stopped. So it kind of like almost was abandoned by everyone around it. So for a console that flopped at the time, it's really becoming very difficult to get. So I asked for a price. They put $70 on it, €70, $70. I said, I'm not paying that much. What I'm paying is $50. And you got that cash magic, because I immediately pulled out the $50 from my wallet. So, you know, just showing them the cash. I said, I was expecting we'll meet in the middle. So if they had said 60, I would have paid the 60, no problem. But I pulled out the 50. She looked at it, she said, okay, sure. And then I asked for like all the cables, and fair enough, got all the cables that you need to make it work. So that's the power cable, and also the connection cable, the old stuff, obviously. But it's complete for 50 euros or $50. Then I asked if they had a memory card. And this is where things turned very interesting. You could see the guy jumped on his phone checking what is a memory card, and at that moment she knew it wasn't theirs. It probably was their sons or their daughters, or someone who lived in their household. The couple were, I think, in their 50s, I would say. So said no, sorry. I said, okay, well, because this is what a memory card does, and this is why you need one. But anyways, I'll fix it, no problem. I'll get me a memory card. Do you have any games? And so they had games. They had to pull them out from the back of the truck. He was still organizing the table, the guy. They got 3 games. Not all that exciting, not all that interesting. The first one being Disney's The Indestructibles. I actually didn't even watch that film. Don't know much about it. But what I ended up doing is, obviously, like in previous episodes, you probably watched this before, I just plugged the console immediately, just made sure it works perfectly fine. I didn't really care about, even the games are more and more difficult to find, right? You've got secondhand stores, and if you do find, it's a small section, probably they'd have something like 6 or 7 games, and prices starting from something like $20, $25, $30. That's even for something like this, which I don't believe many played or even many were interested in. But it's just, that theory. I fully believe in this. Everything flopped in the past is more valuable now. It's just, the case with Nintendo, got stuff like this, for example, didn't work. The console sold about 20 million units worldwide. Obviously struggled because of the PlayStation 2 and even the Xbox. If you remember the original Xbox, were doing a much better than the GameCube. And Nintendo just, few years into its life cycle, abandoned the console completely and started different things. And that's why you only have 20 million copies worldwide. From what I hear, more than half of that about 20 millions, more than half of that was sold in Japan. So imagine the rest of the world share 10 million copies, which is really not that many, and that makes it more difficult to find. The other one they had is actually a bit more interesting. That's the one I first tried, Wave Race, Blue Storm, and it's actually quite interesting. It's kind of like a racer in a very unique way. Obviously complete, tried everything. They work perfectly fine. No problem, plugged in the console and the games. And the last one is another Disney. Probably they were fans of Disney, or maybe they bought them, I don't know, after release for cheap prices, because they drop in price quite quickly, those ones, or the licensed film games. So the World and Nemo. And again, it's okay. It's a GameCube game, and as I said, they're very difficult to find nowadays. So complete. It works perfectly fine. So we went back and forth, kept on chatting. We went through the fact that the console's complete. You've got few games. This is what they found. They had other games. They thought it was GameCube, but they were Wii games, and I wasn't really interested. And we got into the conversation of the memory card, and I managed to get the whole lot. So as you can see, the GameCube, 3 games. This is what I like about flea markets, for $50. Okay, so here online, that's in Western Europe, the console and a controller, you have to provide the cables, obviously, but this is something what you can call complete, is from €200, which is $200. You let me know if you're watching from the US, if prices match. But you know, clean as this, functional, no issues. It's obviously a home console, so it was owned by a family. Well protected because it had a box. It was not a GameCube, unfortunately, not a GameCube box, but it was a box. I think it was like a food processor or something like that. They kept it in a box just to make sure they kept it clean, and they put all the cables just to make sure that, like, when it's sold all together. So I got the whole thing for €50 or $50, and that really kind of not only made my day, but made my whole week. I was very, very happy about this purchase. And on a totally different market, totally different day, totally different city, I found more games. But this is actually not from the same place, all of them from the same place. There are a couple, probably three, I think, from the same place, and the rest are from different places. A game called Spy Hunter, which I don't know much about. I'm not going to pay a lot of money on games, right? So if you talk first party, well, we get into that in a second, but the prices on those are just absolutely crazy. However, stuff like this is for $5, €5, Spy Hunter, a game I don't know anything about. Kept the console plugged and just made sure, like, for a period of about a week or maybe a couple of weeks or even more, I think, it was plugged and just made sure that all these games work perfectly fine. Then another $5 for Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Complete. No problems. Clean. This is actually from a different place. It's again like a garage sale, but this is more like a kind of established place. That guy always there. He has like a little place, a little corner, and again, I mean, like if you go see, for example, the PlayStation 2 games, you've got the Xbox, original Xbox 360, or, you know, Wii. I think he has something like 200 Wii games and stuff. But when it comes to GameCube, probably about 10, maximum 20. That's it. That's what they have. Not more than that. Another is, and again, you know, I just, you know, picked up games where prices seem to be okay. This is, I think, a bit more. I think they are $7 for it. I bought everything, almost everything. I think one I paid 10, which is coming right up. The next one, 007 Nightfire for, I think it was $7. And then from a different place, the two races. This I paid 10 because I love the franchise. I paid $10. Well, you guys says complete. It's actually not complete. There you go. Paid $10. And by the way, some, they would give you a price, but I always say, how about that price? So they could tell you something like, I think this 10, and I'd go, I'd pay 7. Most of the time, unless it's they know it's a valuable thing, they would accept. They'd go, fine, okay, sure, go ahead. And then the last one, again, I paid 10 for this. This one is complete. Need for Speed Underground. This is one of the Need for Speed entries released at the time. I wasn't really interested in the franchise, so don't know much about it. But again, tried it. And actually, for its age, it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty clean, polished. You know, the sound effect and everything. It's like a, you know, it's obviously shows a bit of age, but still it has it. It has the looks of, and also demonstrates the power of the GameCube. There you go. Then I had to fix the problem of the memory card, which in the end, it wasn't really a problem because I know a friend, a guy that I exchange with sometimes. He would ask. He lives in a different place, a bit of a distance from where I live, but we're always in contact. He asked for a few things, and I was able to find stuff for him because he also puts things online and he sells stuff online. So I asked for a memory card. I said, sure, no problem. I can get you one. $10. So GameCube compatible. And Wii compatible. So it's not the original GameCube memory card, but it is compatible. So up to be honest, because I'm not going to play any of these campaigns for now, at least. I'm not planning on, so kept it in a sale for $10. That's kind of like a decent price. And from the same guy, said like if, because you see, it is valuable, as I said, in Western Europe. This is from $200, 200 euros. You can put even more if you have something valuable, especially if you find them for a good price. Because I remember that same guy, same friend that picked up the memory card from, had few, and I said, what do you have hidden as a first party GameCube games? And again, went on into, okay, how about this, how about that, etc. for $50, so 25 a piece. And I agree. Maybe I should have pushed a bit more, but I guess in the end it was all right. For 25 a piece, I got Mario Party 4, so that's 25 euros or $25. There's just a little rip in there, as you can see. That's unfortunate, otherwise it looks gorgeous. And this one, well, it's kind of counted as complete. It's gorgeous, no problem. Tried it, of course. As I was saying, counted as complete, but this is actually not complete because this is the GameCube promotional. The Mario Party, they come with a full manual, right? So it's not 100% complete, but hey, 25 euros, $25 for this. Usually online, they circulate for about 40, starting from 40 and picking up. I've seen 40, 45, 50 and picking up. So didn't mind, I paid 50 for two, so 25 Mario Party 4 and 25 for the last one. And that is Super Mario Sunshine. And that was lucky. So apart from that little rip in there, this, you know, and well, the guy I know, he has not one dog, he has two dogs. So I was joking with him and said, oh, okay, well, there you go. This is what happens when you throw your games around and the dog's in the living room. So this one is complete, gorgeous. You know, the original Mario, Super Mario Sunshine, you know, the difficult platformer for a lot of people. So there you go. That's the collection of the GameCube that managed to get all together. So you can see it. I hope you can see the whole image. I mean, if I actually count everything I paid for the entire collection here. It took about less than a month to get all of this, and obviously the starting point is the console. And if I get a GameCube, a console, I make sure I get the original controller with it, because I've seen them with with third party controls and stuff like that, which is worth nothing. I really don't care about this. This is not collector stuff. So yeah, it took about a month, starting with the first purchase, which is the console that came with the controller and all the power cable and the connection cable, 3 games for $50, and then I paid a decent amount. So if we take the first the 2 first party games, the rest were just peanuts, nothing. It's about to $25 or $30, nothing. And then these 2, yeah, they were for $50, but they worth a lot more than $50. There you go. That's the collection for today. That's the hunt that, as I said, not only made my day, but actually made my week, made my month, because I love this console. It's an unfortunate, unlucky console, victim of circumstances, abandoned by its mother company, destroyed by competition such as Sony and Microsoft and the Xbox, and obviously all the developers that gave up on it. Otherwise, it's a gorgeous console. I'll be doing a lot more episodes. I've got stuff. If you feel like watching something on a particular console, handheld, home console, whatever, let me know, and I will make sure that I'll make an episode on it. Coming up, stuff like PSP, 3DS or DS, Dreamcast, Vita, and a lot more, PS1. So if you like this type of content, please make sure you subscribe to this channel. Let me know what you think. Let me know your experience with the GameCube, the prices that you see that I shared with you. What do you think? What are the prices in your region or your country? Thank you very much for passing by. Brelet's out. We'll see you next time.